The prices for video games, they change all of the time. Individual game prices, consoles change, they always change. And recently, a lot of those changes are going up. Who tells you that they're changing? Who sends you that notification? Who gives you the heads up that prices for various items are going up? And if you're not constantly looking, it's going to be really difficult to figure out how valuable items out there actually are. Well, in today's episode, I made a huge purchase at auction, and I avoided a massive mistake just by doing a little bit of research. And it involves a lot of these. Stick around.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join in the chase. Yeah!
What you see in this big box right here are a lot of N64 consoles. I would generally say most of the time, they usually work. Now, I paid a pretty decent amount of money for this. Right here is how much I paid for this lot. So, what we're looking for are a few things to bring the value of this lot up higher than what it looks like on the surface. It was 11 consoles, it had some controllers, and it had, I think, one OEM power adapter. What we're looking for are more red expansion packs. If we can find some red expansion packs, that increases the overall value, and even though I'm gonna profit on this, I would just like it to be that much sweeter. So we're gonna go through this one by one. We're gonna see, hopefully, a whole lot of goodies in here. Let's get started. Console number one. Here we go. Yeah! Right out of the gate, baby! That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. That is good. Let's check out the first controller here. This one isn't bad. I would actually go ahead and use this one. I would say this is at least an 8 out of 10. Anything less than that, I would not include into a lot. So that is an encouraging sign. This one actually is good. It just needs to be cleaned up. It's a little sticky and gunky, but I would say this one actually is pretty good too. So here's another good controller. Again, not expecting the controllers to be worth anything, but so far so good. This is borderline. This is definitely borderline. So I don't know what to do with this one. I'm gonna put it over here for now. Here's the OEM charger, so that's the only one I think we're gonna get in this entire lot here. This controller is terrible. Yeah, this one's no good. But the good news is I have a huge lot of these going right now. Can usually get between $13 to $15 for a bad OEM controller, which is crazy to me. Really happy about that. This one is fantastic. This one's great. 4 of them, at least 3.5 of them, are in really good condition. So that's excellent. Are you kidding me? What? This is amazing. This is fantastic. Now, unfortunately, there is a crack on the head of this, which isn't great, but you know what? I actually have one replacement shell from a totally broken one. Here is the next one. Normal. I was expecting a lot of those. So we are 2 for 3 so far. Here is number 4. Condition on these two are fine. So I would totally sell these in the condition they're in. We can already see that one. So we're 2 for 5. I would love to be at that 25-30% mark. Here we go. Two for 6. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one's trash. So they didn't do me any favors on this one, at least in terms of packing. And not even any expansion in there at all. That is really unfortunate. And then we've got some of the plastic that has made its way into this one. Why have you done this? This is not your home. There we go. All right, so What are we on? This is number 7? Yeah, 7 or 8. This is number 8. Yeah! Okay, so we are 3 for 8 so far. Now this is interesting. Okay, so this definitely has an expansion pack. This is some custom expansion pack. I've never... RAM expander. It doesn't say which brand. These do sell pretty well, but anyway, it's... Do we call this one? I don't think we can call this one a part of it, but we certainly don't have to say it's a part of this one. So let's call it a half. So we are, what? We're 3.5 out of 9. Number 10. Yeah! Yes! 4.5 out of 10. This is insane. Yes! Can we get some last console magic here, folks? Last console magic. I'm gonna close my eyes. You see before me. You see before me. What is it? Ah, but we had 4.5 of them out of the 11 that had the red expansion pack, which means 4 of those in value. What? That's like $200 right there just for those expansion packs. That is nuts to me. So those 4 right here increases the overall value of the entire lot. So let's start doing some calculations here, because I still have to buy a whole bunch of OEM chargers. I do have to buy some controllers because I think I'm out of stock on those right now. So I do have to go out and source, which means I want an OEM AV cable, I want an OEM power adapter, and I do want an OEM tight stick controller. When I put those numbers together, it's probably gonna be about $20 for the OEM charger and the cable. Sometimes I can get it less, and then it's definitely gonna be about $20 for this. So when you start to do that math, I'm only gonna say I have 10 consoles because one of them is gonna definitely be used for parts. This thing is damaged. Doesn't mean this is worthless. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take the other shell, since this one is just brutal, swap it for this one and roll the dice and see if someone is willing to take this particular one. So, all right, so we will say we have 11. 11 consoles complete is worth this much money. So the complete systems, how much I'm selling them for is worth this much, okay? So now here's the value of the expansion packs. Here is the total value of that bundle. So here's what we're looking at for all of this stuff from my original revenue, minus all of my fees, cost of goods, and additional items that I need to buy. Here is how much I'm gonna make. Is that worth it for you guys? Would you do that? So I had to do just a quick reset here and double check the prices on eBay, because I cannot sell N64s on Amazon as much as I'd like to. I can't. I am gated, which sucks. But what I've done is I've double checked the prices on having bought all of the controllers, all of the power adapters, AV cables, using eBay, using other sources to see if I can get it cheaper. And it turns out that the price difference between console only on eBay and a full working with one controller bundle, N64 bundle, it's like $30. Literally, like $30. You can sell console only for about 80, and you can sell an entire bundle for around 110, maybe. Here's what I'm learning. All of those parts that I would need for each system, yeah, they're way more than $30. I mean, a controller by itself, working controller, is like $25. And I'm not finding any price breaks on that. So an OEM power adapter, OEM AV, the jumper packs, the covers, I'm like $50 in for some of these consoles. It's just not worth it. So my profit margin is going to change a little bit. It's actually going to increase because I'm gonna make more selling them as consoles only. Do your research, folks. Do your research, because I was about to buy over $400, $500 worth of equipment, and I ended up spending $60 on some jumper packs and some jumper pack covers, and I'm gonna make more. So I'm gonna rewind here a little bit. Let's re-look at these numbers again, shall we? from my original revenue, minus all of my fees, cost of goods, and additional items that I need to buy, here is how much I'm gonna make. Is that worth it for you guys? Would you do that? I definitely would. Which one do you think is better? Here's the old one. Here's the old one. This is what you saw before. And here's the new one. Do your research. I was about to make a terrible mistake. Those N64s are gonna be dope though. It's been a few days. I've ordered all the parts that I've needed for my N64 lot here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna assess each console. We're gonna see what we need, whether it's a expansion port cover, if we need an expansion pack itself, and then we need to double check the cleanliness, because that's super critical with these if you're gonna sell them console only. I want them to look as good as possible. And cleaning them is not really that difficult. If you need to get into it, you do need this Starbit tool, which you can get on eBay for like $7. I think you get one for consoles, Nintendo consoles, and then you also get one that works for most of the cartridges. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at each console. I'm gonna separate the ones where I need to open the console and clean it and the ones that I can just clean from the surface and don't have to do all of that surgery to them. And I have tested every single console. They all work, they all play games. So the good news is that I won't be wasting my time cleaning these, not knowing if they work. So off camera, I did check all those. This one right here off the bat definitely needs cleaning inside of the grill here. I'm gonna set this one into the surface cleaning because I think my soft bristle brush can get into that spot right there, and I wouldn't put water or anything in there. I'm just gonna see if I can wipe away the dust. This one's the one that needs the surgery, so I am gonna have to break this one apart and pull the donor piece. So I'm gonna take that one that I have listed down and do a swap with this one. All right, we're gonna see how many bundles we can put together here. Unfortunately, the donor that I had for this one, I can't find it, which isn't totally surprising because this place is just an absolute nightmare to find anything in right now. So let's clean these up, shall we? Let's talk about the tools that I like to use when I'm cleaning up my consoles. I love using a medium bristle brush on hard plastic because it really does a good job of getting up some of the paint, marker, and some of the various types of residue. Then I switch over to a soft bristle brush when I'm trying to get into hard to reach places, or if I don't need to put any chemicals on it, I can use a soft bristle brush to wipe away the dust. You know, if you guys can afford it, I would recommend an air compressor. This particular model that I got is $169. I think they actually have a newer model on Amazon right now, and it just really helps clean up all of those areas that there's grime, there's dust built up that you just can't get to it. So I highly recommend it if you can afford it. I also mentioned my Starbit that I use to get inside of Nintendo consoles. It's really cheap. I'll put a link in my description here so you guys know exactly what I'm using. Over the years, I've really gone back and forth on determining which cleaning solution I like the most, and that seems kind of funny to say out loud, but I've actually settled on one that I really do like quite a bit. It's called LA's Totally Awesome All-Purpose Cleaner. I'll put a link down in the description of that particular product, and it works really well on the easy stuff, and it also works really well on the hard stuff. But it does a pretty good job of getting dirt, grime, even some sticker residue as well. I would definitely consider checking it out. I've really enjoyed using this product. And then finally, what you don't see on camera is off to the side, I've got a bucket of water. I use the bucket of water just to take all of the plastic pieces, of course, nothing electronic, but all the plastic pieces, I drop them in and then I scrub them again. So obviously I'm going so fast here you can't see me leaning over and cleaning those parts, but basically hard plastic pieces I drop in there, let it soak in hot water with soap for, I don't know, probably 15 minutes, and then I'm done. And here is how everything turned out. It did turn out really nice. This one here has the crack, but still works. That one does work as well, but it is It's got a big hole in the back. The rest of these have minor scuffs, and there are some dings and some scratches here and there, but overall it turned out really nice. I mean, for all 12 of these, I am extremely pleased. So 4 of them will be moved into bundles. I'll probably keep the additional power adapter just because I can always use extras. And this process for cleaning took about 45 minutes, and that wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. So let's get started on listing these, and let's see how quickly we can sell them all. So when I initially had this lot and I was polling all of those expansion packs, I kept thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna make a lot of money on this. It was difficult to see that I paid around $425 for all of the consoles, untested. And then seeing that the value of that was over $1,400, that margin there seemed really healthy. Well, in fact, it actually wasn't, because once you back out fees, once you backed out all of the items that I needed to actually sell these, once you include the shipping, it started to get a lot smaller than it actually looked. And it really does pay to do your research. I was seconds away from spending about $500 worth of items that I would need to complete these bundles, and that was just, it was not smart. Let's just call it exactly what it is. But since I filmed the original pickup to where I am today, I only have 4 consoles left and I've sold everything else. So I am so close to having this entire thing in the books. That includes all of the expansion packs, that includes all of the bundles, and it's just 4 individual consoles left. And I actually decided to put $79.95 plus shipping on that, and I'm still selling them. So when I'm looking at the overall value after everything has been sold, initially I thought I was gonna be around 280-ish. I'm actually gonna be well over 500 after it's all said and done, and that is tremendous. It really wasn't that much work either. I actually spent about 45 minutes doing the cleaning. I filmed probably 25 minutes of unboxing all of those consoles, and if I think about how much time I put into taking shots and doing the listings, that was maybe another 30 minutes of total time spent. All in all, I'm probably looking at maybe around 2 hours worth of time invested to get that $500. And I gotta say, that is absolutely worth it. Had I only made around 250 and looked at that same number and said, hey, it's over $100 an hour, was that worth it? I probably would have said yes, but reluctantly done so, because I'm used to seeing an investment like that pay off a lot more, considering there's the failure rate, there's returns, there's customer service involved, and you're not always factoring those things in when you're thinking about your profit margin being in that $200 to $300 range. I definitely hope there was some value in this particular episode, folks, because as I tie this into the beginning of the episode, who tells you that prices are changing? Unless you're paying attention, you might be missing out on some profit. Folks, if you've made it this far, please consider becoming a subscriber. If you like this content, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I always appreciate it, and we've got some great content coming up. I'll see you next time, folks. Take care.